Alright guys, we are going to just look at the build in this video. I'm just going to kind of click through things so people see what we're working with here. We're going to start with Winter Victoria. Quick overview. Agility is important. We have her at 90. We have Titus at 93. And we have Eldira at 81. The goal is Eldira needs to go last, and she needs to be in the middle so that she can buff her magic res. Click through and show you the abilities I have on and off. Sniper has everything on. Paladin has Taunting Blade, Saintly Healing, and Saintly Wall turned off. We're using Holy Knight Protection. Tune Up. Paladin Guard. Revitalize is on from Bells. Chocobo Healing is on. She doesn't use it often, so it's not really that big of a problem. And then Winter's Reward is on. Weapons, we went with a +5 Plapo. You could use a +4 or lower, but obviously +5 gives you that nice, sweet 20 defensive rate piercing up. We're stacking against magic, so we're going to run more magic resist. And we chose the Smart Coat +5. I could get a little more HP out of this one. That could potentially push her closer to that 5,000 HP mark. Of course, I chose Bells. For espers, I chose to use the Chocobo. And on the board, we put a point over here into attack and accuracy. We wanted some sort of slash attack up in case she gets hit by something like Elsrel or Warrior of Light. But we're also buffing up the magic missile attack, I'm sorry. There might be better espers for her to run. I haven't experimented much flipping espers out on her, but the Chocobo is very solid. We're going to go to Titus. My Titus is 120. He does have a nice big health bowl here. Abe star player, we have Cheer and Hastka turned off. The rest are on. Some people might argue Hastka should be on, but my issue with Hastka is he was using it instead of doing things like, come over here to this Paladin job, instead of doing things such as Divine Grace, which is what I really need him to do. I really need him to buff HP so that everyone else gets just that much more beefy. We turned off Saintly Wall, but the rest stayed on. We chose with You Gotta Score. We went with Suncrest. There's an honorable mention where if I didn't feel I needed this agility, I would go with the Holy Knight's Protection and get that max HP and defense. And I mean, if we put it on, we drop down to 86, which is still faster than Eldira, which is fine. And he almost hits that 7,000 life. I haven't really felt the need to have that extra 400 HP from here. So I typically just leave it on You Gotta Score. We're using Provoke because when Berserk triggers, it sometimes is just the match. Smiling Practice is left on. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that. This is on. I like it because it raises that crit hit, but it's not necessarily needed. I could turn that off and probably live. And Blitz Ace has been left on. When it comes to weapons, we went to Brotherhood. I think Brotherhood is the best option for him right now. It gives him every single thing he needs. High attack, a little bit of HP, nice crit, slash and water attack. We went with the Titus necklace. We did +5 it recently, and we got, you know, all the nice stats on it. That dex is nice and great for crit hit. We have more crit down here. Get that spirit and that nice sweet +10 to magic res. Highly recommend it. If you don't get one of these, you could always use the Bale gauntlets. The gauntlets are only going to get up to the +8 magic res, and you're not going to get nearly as much dex and crit hit, but it is still a good serviceable option. I chose to use Eunice clothing because I wanted Smile Practice to be an option for him, mostly for the protect and shell whenever he uses it, and it does give a small HP bump, but him not having super high magic, that's kind of, he uses it in dire situations. And then I went with, of course, Odin. I mean, that 19 agility is hard to beat. Looking at his board, we chose this Man-Eater. My Titus hits really hard. It's pretty scary sometimes for the opponents. And I again went with the slash resist. He does have Sentinel, and he does buff himself after he buffs everyone else if no one's in range for him to hit. It is great. Just a little extra added defense for when he needs to get into melee range. And then Eldira. I would also like to get her HP up just a little bit more and break into that 5,000, but we're still sitting good. Again, her agility needs to be lower than the other two, so she sits in the middle. Arithmetician. All of her spells are left on. She likes to damage, but she does heal when it's needed. It is pretty nice. Spellblade. Taunting Blade is turned off. I will note that you see this little icon up here. For anyone unaware, that means it's slash. And I'm going to show you what it looks like for like Waterga, which is that little drop. Kind of like a teardrop almost. That is magic. That works really well with Titus and doing some chains. But the star of our show is resist magic. And this is why you want the other two to stack on top of her, so that you can get within the area around self for 3 turns. And you buff magic res, and you laugh at all of the Yunas and the Sakuras who try to cast spells on you. I think level 4 to 3 is a no-brainer. You need to have divisibles by one of those two. 99 and 120 fit right into the level 3. If you stick with level 4, you miss the 99s, you only hit the 120s. And of course, magic up. We want to raise her magic. I went with damage distribution because she gets the chance to absorb damage and counterattack. Holy Knight's Purge. Mega Flare is on for Bahamut. It does get to raise that magic and attack, so that is nice when it's used. I think her OB is 100% useless in a group on auto. I could be wrong. I haven't tried testing with this group where I'm forcing them to stack in the middle. However, I don't think this is worth it. I leave it off. I've left it off almost since day 1. Of course, for her, we have the Platinum Mace. That is, I think, an absolute no-brainer. It's her best weapon. It's the absolute best thing she can get. Mine is, as you can see, missing a little bit of magic there, but we settle when we need to settle. Again, Soul of Thamasa, I think is how that's said. It's only +2. I didn't have the opportunity to farm that box event as much as I wanted, so we're sticking with what we got, which is a +2. The main big thing here is that silence, the magic res, and we get a little bit of magic piercing, high magic, and we get a tiny bit of spirit. We went with Mastery's TMR. I would like to level this up a little bit more, but we get a nice little recovery from it, and it bestows a barrier. Kind of nice. Also gives me more spirit, more defense. And then we are using a Bahama. He is beautiful. I am doing the magic res. Normally she's not going to be in melee range, so I'm not worried about the slash resist here. We have this nice man eater up because we want to eat all of the men up. And we got this TP up into the magic up. It's pretty nice. For anyone who hasn't pulled him, I apologize for your vizier. So when it comes to vision cards, you could do these a few different ways. I think that Winter Holiday Party, if you are running an Eldira, is just a no-brainer. Everyone gets Dex up. Titus loves it. You get this nice attack res up for area of effect to everyone. We get to take advantage of the bottom half, which is water attack up, because we're an Eldira. And because we are an arithmetician, we get the magic up. All around, the two things we want from magic affect us, and we buff defense and some crit on everyone else. I think it's a fantastic card. Clairvoyant, Astrologer. Attack up. That doesn't really help Eldira, but it helps everyone else. APO acquired up. Again, doesn't really help Eldira, but helps everyone else. However, this beautiful magic attack unit to resist is beautiful. We don't have to use Fenrir because we can just use a better card for our team. When it comes to the defense piercing rate and such, of course, we're not running Ramonda, so we can't take advantage of that. And because we don't have a lance, we don't get advantage of that. So unfortunately, all we're getting is attack and AP up with our magic res. Oh no, how hurtful. Yes, it would be nice if we were using Glaciella, who could at least take advantage of the unit attack pierce up. But if you don't have Christmas Vic, by all means run her. She is fantastic, and I have ran comps with her, and she does well. But I don't have a +5 wind spear, so she doesn't really damage as much as I'd like her to. And to me, the star of the party is the Suteke de Na. That 25% HP is huge. It is like Solidus, but for water. Slash attack up is fantastic for Titus, of course, and that crit hit rate up. Yay. Scroll down, we get more attack up because we are water. And we get this nice defense piercing rate up and accuracy because our character's name is Titus. So all in all, just giving you an overall party look here. We have a very well-rounded team here. As I said, you can run Glaciella here with the Wind Spear, and I would put on her agility is already high, so I left on the Lion Emblem, which is Mont's TMR. Rallying Cry, of course, is a really nice buff for agility in this composition as well. In her Valkyrie job, I got the War Maiden turned off because I don't want her to buff it. I want her to buff the team. The rest turned on. And I went with Ninja just kind of on a whim. It seemed to work. None of her abilities messed up. Her wanting to run into the middle to buff anyone seemed to work. We went with Jab Mastery for the attack and the agil. And then again, we raised the agility and went with Luck. Both of those being raised meant we could run something other than bells, like the Rallying Cry on Lion Emblem. We're going to stick with the Clairvoyant, but I went with the Ifrit. I think it's really good for her. I don't have the 3rd star, but if you have the 3rd star, it's even better for her. Again, I don't have the +5 spear, so I want the +2 there. And I don't have a +5 armor of light here. I went with the +4. You'll see that this is a little different down here. This wasn't as optimized. This is probably my first week's build. I would personally still go with these and just replace Winter Victoria with Glaciella. That's why I'm not really going through the other units, because I highly recommend that setup over the other one. Well, we're 15 minutes into this, and I'm going to show you guys a video of how this performs. We're currently 1,283. So here is a standard length comp. Those are 89s. Let's see if we can showcase this a little better here. That's got a Titus in it. That's not what I'm looking for. I want the typical light wall. That's an Agrius. That El Sorrel will work. I was hoping it was going to be a Warrior Light, but that'll work. This is the harder of the comps, actually. So let's see if I'm going to eat my words after all of this hype, or if we are going to walk away with our victory here. So first thing we do, we run in Divine Grace. Second thing we do, we run in, we Divine Grace. Who's she going to re-raise? Magic Resist. Oh, is she going to do Sleepy? She is. Sakura is so much easier to kill. There's the Sentinel to fight that El Sorrel. Got the Revitalize for the bells.
I'll send you to the next world.
Ooh, it's going to cut close for Eldira. Oh. Yeah, come back and heal. Are we going to get the AoE off? Nice. Oh, you're going to split up, so Eldira has to choose who to heal? Oh, are we just going to go for the kill? And that, folks, is the composition at work. And I don't want to get too much longer in the video, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. But this is my composition. Thanks for watching.